Enjoy the fourth part of our tryst with Telugu theatre. Mr. G Udaya Bhanu, director, actor, and a much respected Telugu theatre personality, talks about the rich heritage and development of Telugu theatre. An eminent theatre personality of Hyderabad, he has taken us through his personal theatre journey, how he formed his own group Bhoomika, and after much experiment came up with the revolutionary theatre to the doorstep. Theatre personalities, Mr. Swapan Mandol and Miss Souravi are also present in the discussion.
So, okay, let me start a little bit of my personal journey here. So, I came here to join railways in 1979, November. So, and I was basically, I'm thirsty to do theatre. So, I searched here for other theatre groups to join because I don't know anybody here in Hyderabad. I'm basically from Vijayawada. Okay, at that time it was a small town. So here I tried to join some theatre groups, which I did. Due to some logistic problems, I used to work in backstage like makeup and set design and music operation and all these things. But in finally in '83, I established a theatre group, not in '83, sorry, somewhere later, maybe 89, I established my theatre group called Bhoomika. By that time, I used to watch a lot of theatre. And again, it's in a Parshad. So, and here the advantage is if you see one Parshad, you have seen all the plays. Because the same place will circulate in almost all the Parshads, barring 10% of here and there. So I used to watch a lot of plays, and I formed some firm opinions about these parishes, their economics, and as I told you yesterday, even the audience feel that they are self-appointed judges. They are not there to
appreciate the play,
appreciate the story, whatever the group is trying to tell. So I thought when I established my theatre group in '89, I thought I should be away from these parishads. So I should search for an alternative stage. In retrospective, I feel it's a foolish thought because it's very difficult to create an alternate stage. Because whatever is there existing, you should try your hand there and try to create an alternative audience. But still I continued, I struggled with that. And then in our railways, there used to be a lot of encouragement for theatrical plays as a part of promoting Hindi, the official language. So that way I gathered some of my theatre railway colleagues and we did some plays and we toured the entire country with those plays, and that was a wonderful experience. We went to many places like Kharagpur, like Delhi, Mumbai, Gorakhpur, many places, and we won many prizes. And that's a very big achievement for a non-Hindi speaking troupe to go to a Hindi belt and get all the prizes. Okay, and as a part of that, as yesterday, we produced a play called Charan Das, which is an adaptation of Charan Das Chor. Actually, originally when we did it in Hindi, it is called Charan Das Chor itself. But when we later adopted it into Telugu, it's called Charan Dasu. With that play, we went to Varanasi, and coincidentally, the music we set up for that play are drawn from Bhojpuri tunes. Okay, Varanasi is the home of all that Bhojpuri music. So the audience were wonderstruck with the kind of music we took there. And there, with all the participants from all over the country, our play won the best play award in that play. It's one of many best play awards which we got. This I am stating because it was the play has turned the path of our theatre also, path of our theatre group also. So, and that's where I met Mandol. Mandol was part of some of the plays, okay, and so slowly we started that, and one more development in the theatre at that time was, for me at least, because I used to work mostly with youth, young people. Other than my of course, the railway people, I used to have railway actors in the railway plays, but they never like to come out and do plays outside the railways because they don't want to leave all those privileges of off from the work or PAs, DAs, and all that. So I tried to work with young people. Mostly, I started with children of railway employees. Okay, so that's my easy access point. So I started working with them, and we did the same play Charandasu in Telugu, which won a Nandi Award. At that time, the state government has established that award system in 1999. The first ever Nandi Award function, we received the second best play award and also best music and best direction award. Okay, and which really encouraged me to work with youth. But exactly at that time, our great leader Chandrababu Naidu has sanctioned engineering colleges left, right, and center. So engineering or medicine has become the education and nothing else. So consequently, what happened was many the youth are not allowed, or they either from their own volition or from the pressure from the parents. They were all totally dedicated to the academics and nothing else. So the whatever extracurricular activities that were happening in the colleges or schools were totally cut off. So that's where it created a vacuum in my theatre. But it did not happen in other theatre groups in outside Hyderabad or in Hyderabad. Okay, let me tell you something about some of the groups in Hyderabad here. It is most of the groups, if you see, it's let me call it for a lack of another word, it's a one-man group. For example, if I am the founder of the group, if I am the organizer of the group, if I am the director of the group, I don all the main roles. So all the scripts are written with that in mind, and I take people I take people for small and insignificant minor roles, and I take the limelight. That's how most of the groups in Andhra Pradesh, not only in Hyderabad, most of the groups operate. So, and that's one way I don't blame them also, because people are not ready to invest their time in rehearsals unless it is for a week or 10 days. Whereas the main actor or director who can work on his character most of the time because he is alone. So in the end, he can gather all the minor actors and minor characters and finish the play and go to a competition or do the performance. So that way maybe that could be the reason why you find most of the one-man shows in Telugu theatre. You can see this phenomena almost in every theatre group in Andhra Pradesh, because mostly the reason being that because of this MSET craze, the engineering and engineering studies craze or something, whatever, youth are not attracted to theatre, and even if they are attracted, they are not ready to invest more time in rehearsals. So that's one reason which affected the theatre in a very big way. Okay. And so now I always say that if you watch any play in the entire Andhra Pradesh or in Telugu speaking states, the average age of an actor is 45. I can safely say that. The average age of an actor is 45. So, so all the plays were written according to that, those premises. Okay. And also later I realized that the average age of the audience also is 45. Because the themes or the stories or the scripts that are happening are not connected to the present day youth. That's one reason. So, having said that, so in my group, as okay, my group is an exception because I never used to take up a role unless it is an emergency. Okay, unless it is an emergency, because I can't take up both the responsibilities of an actor and a director, because acting I feel is a full-time job. Okay, as is directing, so I can't take two responsibilities. So that's why I never took up a role unless somebody has a problem, has a difficulty in attending the play or something. So I used to mostly work with youth. And this engineering education and all this thing has really has affected my theatre group in a very big way. In fact, at one point of time, I used to gather actors from the small towns and villages and gather them here and have camp rehearsals in my place. And I used to produce plays, but they are not up to the mark. So, and also this Nandi festival every year, that used to be my important occasion, not because it's Nandi, because when I say I'm preparing a play for the Nandi, people are attracted to work with me, and I used to do that. Okay, and also this Nandi has changed one thing in a very big way. Is previously, as I told you, they announce a Parishad, and when the entries come, they send judges to scrutinize the place, and then they select, and then they have the final competition where there are another set of judges who adjudicate. But after this Nandi, what happened was all these Parishads, all the Parishads that are happening all over Andhra Pradesh, they have changed this modus operandi. So whatever is selected in Nandi, they used to take it to their Parishads and perform. So to qualify your play for a Parishad, you should first qualify yourself in Nandi. That was one, I don't know whether it is to an advantage or a disadvantage, but that was the change that was brought into this Nandi due to this Nandi competition. So I also used to rally actors with some difficulty and try to go for Nandi. But only the first time, the first ever Nandi, we got 3 prizes. But later we never got selected, mainly due to the lack of quality of production from my side, because I could not get actors to give such a dedicated time to work in a play. Whereas the first Nandi happened because I used to work with mostly youth. Mostly they are children of our railway employees. They used to give a lot of time. We rehearsed for about 2 months. Can you imagine? 2 months. Okay. So that opportunity I could never repeat. That exercise I could never repeat after any Nandi. So I never got selected in any Nandi day. But I used to make an attempt to perform somewhere or other. And meanwhile, another important development in Hyderabad theatre scene is that was in late 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mandol. In Hyderabad, there are some conventional theatres like Ravindra Bharati and Tyagarajan Sabha, Indira Priyadarshini. And to have if you want to perform in that venue, you have to spend a lot of money, which theatre groups could not afford. Okay, because it's in the upward of 15 to 20,000 rupees only for the venue, and added to that the production costs and other aspects. So, and suddenly the another important development that happened in Hyderabad theatre scene is there was a venue called La Makan. Okay, I don't know when did that open, Mandal? Do you remember?
You were in mute, Shapandar.
Mandal, when was it started?
2010.
2010.
10, yeah.
Okay.
And the end of 9, actually, they opened, and then 2010 full-fledged.
Okay.
Because the Hassan Sahab has given that house, no?
Okay.
This support.
There was he was a journalist, no? Was he a journalist?
No, photojournalist. Photojournalist.
Okay.
He's a and he's a founder of Hyderabad Photography Club.
Okay. That was a very major development, because in nowhere in other cities this kind of thing has happened. This Mr. Hassan, who was a photojournalist, he has a house in a very prime locality in Hyderabad, in Banjara Hills. Okay. He gave away that house for cultural activities. So whoever comes and does cultural activities, either theatre or literature or anything, music or anything, it is free of cost, including current power charges. Okay. And there is one rider is that, suppose if you charge a ticket to the audience, then you have to pay 1,000 rupees to the establishment. So that was a very major development in Hyderabad theatre scene, where many small theatre groups have come up and started their own amateur activity. And today it is the busiest venue in the entire city, because in weekends they are all booked 5 to 6 months in advance. Okay, that was one major development, and later many such venues have come up. So, for example, we have our sacred space, and there is Apollo, there is Phoenix. There are at least 5 to 6 venues in Hyderabad which are doing a great service to the cultural field. I don't call it specifically theatre, it's to the cultural field. Okay, let me tell you one thing here. And if you take the statistics of the performances, theatrical performances happened in Lamakan, not even 5% of them are from Telugu theatre. Most of them are either English theatre or other Hindi theatre. Even Mandol has performed sometimes there with his Bengali plays and also Hindi. Okay. So, Telugu theatre people, they are not interested. Why? You may ask. Because it's not a competition. It's as simple as that. So, we are not interested if it's not a competition. And you can find their quality also. Suppose if you like their play after seeing it in a competition, if you want them to come to your village or town to perform, what you call in Bengal, you call them call shows, no? Are they called call shows? Yeah.
Yes.
Call shows.
If you call them for a call show, their attitude will be so callous, and even the quality will be so bad, because they are not keen unless it's a competition. Okay, so this was the reason. So let me come back to my Bhoomika here. So this educational policy and all these things, and the shifting of the film and TV industry has, I think mine was the only group which suffered the tremendous loss. Okay, and again, so I retired from railways in 2013, and I didn't know, because all my life I did only theatre. I don't know how to do anything else other than theatre. So I was at a loss. At this time, another development that has happened to Bhoomika is somehow I used to get some phone calls from aspiring actors to train them in acting. So in the initial days, I was very wary and very what you call pessimistic about the whole scenario, because I was not interested to train actors for films, and I have one very foolish and very strong reservation about films, because after the kind of films that happen in the commercial arena, so I don't consider film acting as a wonderful thing. Of course, I love good cinema. I love good cinema. I watch all the world masters. But so I have a very stepmotherly attitude towards film actors. So that's why I did not take up initially. But then, because I was retired and I didn't have anything else to do, so I started attending to those calls and asked them to come and talk to me. So slowly this happened. I got about 4 actors, out of which one actor was paying a very fat amount of money to me to train him as an actor. And because I didn't know how to train actors, train a solo actor, so I joined 3 free trippers. Okay, you can ask me how come you have become a trainer. After working with youth and newcomers all these years, I'm good with training. I realized that I'm very good in training the new actors. So I can say that more than a director, I'm a good trainer. So I started working with these 4 actors. I worked for them, and then I realized that there are so many inquiries, and so that was the first batch. And for the second batch, I could gather about 12 to 15 people. And mind you, this is all free of cost. I used to do it free of cost because I have my pension to look after my needs. So I don't have any other aspirations in my life. And all my sons are all well settled, and I don't have any need for money. So I started doing free of service. I started training them free of service. And after the 3rd batch, I realized that they are taking it very lightly. So I made some strict rules and regulations, because I don't want them to take it for granted. So I told them to I made them to pay a deposit of 2,000 rupees as a deposit. So even if they come late by 1 minute, I used to charge 5 rupees per minute. And if they are absent for whatever reason, except one reason, that is self-death. So whatever reason, they had to pay 200 rupees. So I maintained those rules, and I trained about 10 batches. And luckily for me, not luckily, it is consequently, my group, Bhoomika, has got wonderful reviews in the internet. And if you search for theatre groups in Hyderabad, you will find that Bhoomika will be in the top 3, and you will get wonderful reviews written by, not engineered by me, by all those who have worked with me. So, okay, why I'm telling you this? Because I want to come to the major point in my life at this juncture. That is, after 10 batches, after training 10 batches of actors without charging them a single price, but with all the deposits and rules intact. So I realized I have abundance of actors in my hands. So then I came up with an idea, because my job is not to train actors for the film field. My job is to do theatre. I know that. I was very conscious of it all these years. And this has happened these 10 batches have happened in a span of 2 years. Because at that time I used to train 2 batches. One batch from 3 to 5 and another batch from 6 to 8. So I had about actors from 10 batches who are ready to work. Because in all the training, I never used to utter the word theatre, because I may scare them off. I thought I'll scare them off. So later I realized from the feedback I got from all these actors, because they are ready to have some theatrical experience with me. They are very eager to be in theater because they happen to see some of the actors who have attained stardom. If they in their interviews they cited that they worked in theater, that's why they could get a their talent has been polished and honed. So all these actors are ready to work in theater. Then I realized, okay, that's wonderful. So I started producing plays. Okay, again the question is, where are the venues? There are very limited few venues, and this Lamakan is totally out of my reach because all the weekends are booked by many other groups. So then I realized in 2005, well before this training, while I was working, I started a project called Mungitlo Natakam.
Thank you ever so much for spending your time with us. We hope you have enjoyed watching the program. Before we say bye bye, we have a little request. Please spend a second to click on the subscribe button. No, this is not a financial subscription. It only means that you have seen and liked the program and subscribing to this channel so that you can watch many more such programs that we intend to bring to you. Thank you once again.